Hello everyone and welcome back to the Technotips Learning channel. Today in this video we are diving into one of the most effective way to protect your accounts and your entire organization, and we are talking about multi-factor authentication or MFA in Microsoft Entra ID. So we will look into what MFA is, what exactly the multi-factor authentication is, why multi-factor is required or password alone is not simply enough, how MFA works in Microsoft Entra ID or Azure AD, and how you can enable it for your users the right way to enable it. So there are different types of accounts. There are normal user accounts, there are admin accounts, and it is advised, like when you set up multi-factor authentication, you start with the admin accounts. You can set it up like multiple layers for the administrative accounts. However, for the users, for normal users, it would be one layer, which we can do through the custom policies. So stick around because this one of the easiest win for your security. So setting up multi-factor authentication, it strengthens your security. And how do we do that? We will go ahead and demonstrate in this video. We will look into the topic like why passwords alone are not enough. Why do we even require a second level of authentication, which is a part of second factor authentication or multi-factor authentication? Uh, so let's start with the simple question: why MFA is even needed? Why multi-factor authentication is even needed? Aren't the strong passwords enough? And the straightforward answer is no. So the challenges with the password, I will tell you. The first thing you need to do is search how strong how strong is my password. So what happens if you so this is the web page where you can test like how strong is your password. So this is Google Password Manager. Now use a strong password you can do, and this strong password will take 215 trillion years to be decoded, right? However, if you look for brute force attack applications, those applications are automated. So if a human being is trying to crack your password, it might take 215 trillion years. But with the software, with the programming, if it is done, it is easy to crack that password. Now, the second challenge that you will get with this password is you will not be able to remember this password. So ultimately, when you are using a strong password, you are using Google Password Manager, or what people in your organization will do, they will go ahead, copy this password, and save it on a notepad. That is the sad reality that a breach that happens, a password breach that happens, it happens because people save these strong. The password is strong, but they save these hard-coded password in a notepad or some text application. They might be using some add-ins or web plugins to store the password, but is that secure enough? The answer is no. When you are talking about cybersecurity, anywhere if you're storing your credential, it is not safe. So if what people will end up, they cannot remember this password, what people will end up is doing setting a password like welcome at 123. It will take less than a second to crack. You can see it here. Now suppose I name my I put the password on my girlfriend's name and date of birth. So I put Amanda at 1986, right? Now this password can be cracked in less than 5 seconds. Okay. Now I create a password like Miami Beach is nice at 1986 or 1982. It will take 24 years to crack this password. It says very strong. However, we will talk about something called phishing, right? So here is why. Password can be guessed or cracked. These passwords can be cracked through a brute force application. They get stolen in phishing attacks every single day. So what happens? You have a website. You are using a banking website. Okay. What phishing will do? It will create a clone of your website, and it will, like, after they create a clone of the website, it will give you a prompt to log in. Like, it looks similar, very similar to your banking website. So you end up putting your user ID and password, and your password is stolen, right? So nowadays, if you see every banking website or financial websites you go, they send an SMS to your registered mobile number. That is the second factor authentication, of course. Or people reuse the same password across multiple sites. So someone's password on Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, and other different platforms are same. Any of these platforms get hacked, or there is a data breach on these platforms, and your password is stolen, your credential is stolen. So the same password can be used across multiple sites. They can try it, at least they can try. So if you want to see that your password has been uh, breached, so there is a website, have I been Pwned, have I been pawned? Check your email address. So let us see the poem story at gmail.com, and you check, have I been pawned? Zero data breaches for my account, but this is another, I have another account, and definitely, because I'm using it for almost 16 years now, if I look this account, and I am 100% sure that somewhere the credentials are breached. So there are 22 data breaches which happened, and my credentials are known to people. Where no SOC radar, meme chat, LinkedIn script data, Domino's India. So data breach happened on Domino's India, on Twitter, on Site Zero Day, Big Basket, Gravtar, Paytm, data enriching exposure from PDL customer, collection, number of Royal Enfield. Okay, I have a Royal Enfield motorcycle, Dub Smash. If you're creating your accounts on Dub Smash, so be 100% sure that your data will be breached. Onliner, Snapbot, Zomato, exploit.in, mail root dump, Bitcoin Security Forum Gmail dump. On Adobe, the data breach happened in October 2013. 153 million Adobe accounts were breached, with each containing an internal ID, username, email, encrypted password, and a password hint in a plain text. The password cryptography was poorly done, and many were quickly resolved back to plain text. The unencrypted hints also disclosed much about the password. I'm smiling because that is okay. I am protected with the second factor authentication, but you can see how secure you are when you are working on the internet, right? And that is one reason why multi-factor authentication is a requirement for you, right? Any other email address. So you can go to haveibeenpawned.com. You can put your email address, and you can check it. You will see where your data is breached, and these are not small companies. LinkedIn, Domino's, Twitter, Adobe, Big Basket. So these are big companies where the data breaches are happening. So now you know how secure you are. So coming back to the question, so you can see this point we covered. In fact, according to Microsoft, over 99% of account compromises could have been prevented with multi-factor authentication. And if in today's internet world, if you're talking about 99%, that is a huge data. So definitely this aren't strong passwords enough. The straightforward answer that I gave you is no. Only password is not the way to secure your account. All right, so the motto was not to scare you. Your account, if you're using at multiple platforms and there is data breach happening, your credentials may be stolen and they can be tried across different platforms. But to secure the access, the multi-factor authentication is the answer. And what is multi-factor authentication? It is simply requiring more than one piece of evidence to prove who you are. So when you log in, you have your user ID and password. So after you use your user ID and password, there is a second factor that would be required. Now, what are those? Let us understand. Something you know. So you know your user ID and you know your password. So something you know is your password. Something you have. The other factor can be something you have, like your phone or a hardware key, right? It is a FIDO key that comes in. You can configure it for authentication. So sometimes in any other video, we will discuss the FIDO keys and other ways. Something you have, like your phone or a hardware key. Something you are. So something you are means something that is in your physical attribute, like your fingerprint, your retina scan that happens, your face scan that happens. Uh, so these are the multiple factors. The one factor is password. Other layers are something you have, like your phone, and something you are, like your fingerprint, your face. With multi-factor authentication, even if someone steals your password, so password can be stolen. At the same time, they steal your phone as well, then you are uh, unlucky, and they know your the code to open your phone. Because when you set up multi-factor authentication or any authentication application on your phone, it requires that your phone should have a code. So if someone knows your phone code, then he steals your password, then you are the most unlucky person. But that is a security, added security. Something you are, like your fingerprint or face scan, which cannot be stolen. In movies, you see like a person is dead, they will scan the face. Now, those are that can happen, but hypothetically, it is very less. With multi-factor authentication, yeah, someone steals your password, they cannot access your account without the second factor. Or so, how does MFA multi-factor authentication work in Microsoft Entra ID? We will look into this. So when you sign in, you enter your username and password. So that is simple. And then you get prompted for a second factor. And this could be a notification on the Microsoft Authenticator app, an SMS code, a phone call, or even using a fingerprint with a FIDO security key. So FIDO security key, I don't have it available. So when we do the demo, we'll show you an SMS code, a phone call. Only after you provide both factors you're granted access. It is a simple but incredibly powerful safeguard. So you are getting an SMS, or you open Microsoft Authenticator app and you get a notification to put a number and then you sign in. So that is how the multi-factor authentication works. You can also set a phone number where you can get an SMS code, or we will see if an email address if we can add, so that you get the authentication code on your email as well. Now we will discuss MFA multi-factor options in Microsoft 365 Entra ID. So it gives you several options for multi-factor authentication. Now, multi-factor authenticator app, SMS codes, voice calls, FIDO hardware keys like UB keys or passwordless sign-ins, biometric or Windows Hello. That is another great option. So if your organization has enabled Windows Hello, so you can use your fingerprint or you can use your face to authenticate. This is what is called um, what you are. So your fingerprint is your identity and your face is what you are. Now, it is maybe I'm creating this video uh, less relevant, but it is still uh, a question that comes about multi-factor authentication. Microsoft is pushing towards a passwordless feature. So when your phone or security key becomes the primary ways to sign in, so it is nothing but you do not need to put a password. You have to configure a passwordless policy where when you sign in, you enter your user ID. It will not ask you for your password. It will ask you to authenticate on your mobile phone or where how you set it up. So you need to do a device configuration for that. Like you need to provide like an Android device or iOS device that you can do. Uh, if I want to show you a passwordless authentication, um, on this device, if you see when I log in, I provide the the pin that I have set for this PC, and it automatically logs me in. So we will look into passwordless sign-in, but first let us look into multi-factor authentication. Now, how do you enable multi-factor authentication in Entra ID? So by default, as soon as you get any plan in Microsoft Entra ID, it will automatically enforce multi-factor authentication. As soon as you create a new user account, the users will have to sign in or have to configure the multi-factor authentication. Now, that is the security default and that is by force. However, when with the Microsoft Entra premium plans like P2 that you can use conditional access policies. So in conditional access, you can set different authentication methods, and third is registration campaigns. So the organization might run registration campaigns for the users to register for MFA by a set deadline, so you can roll it out slowly, gradually. And then we will discuss best practices for multi-factor authentication. It starts with privilege account first. Admin should always be behind MFA. Avoid SMS as your primary factor. SIM swapping attacks are real. Encourage authenticator apps or hardware keys. Have backup methods registered, like adding a secondary phone or app. Monitor multi-factor reports in Entra portal. So see who is registered and who is still pending. We will all we will look all these options in detail in demo. So to demonstrate it, I am logged into Microsoft Entra Admin Center, and you have all these options here. Now you can also go to this place by going to portal.azure.com and let it log in. and you go to Microsoft Entra ID and go to security and protect and manage multi-factor authentication. Right, so same screen you are on. If you are going through Microsoft Admin Entra Admin Center, there is it says my multi-factor authentication, so you can see both the ways you can go here, and it will give you the same screen, settings, troubleshoot, and we will look more into it. So all right. So to demonstrate how multi-factor authentication works by default, the first option that we talked about is security defaults. So if you have a free account, so we will discuss this first, security defaults. So by default, Microsoft protects your account with multi-factor authentication. Now, to demonstrate it, I will create a new user, and I will name it MFA demo account. Maybe one. I put it display name is MFA demo account. Here is the password, so I'll save this password because I need to use it. And review plus create, we will not do anything else on this account for now, so we will do a create, and MFA demo account is created. Now the first time login, when a user logs in after you create the account, when a user logs in for the first time, he needs to go to my sign in. Okay, there are two ways that you can register the multi-factor authentication. One is you go to aka.ms-mfa setup. Okay, all right, so this is where it will take you directly to the security info page. But you can use the account here, but the better option is we will go to my sign ins dot microsoft.com. All right, we will go to the account, MFA demo account. We'll copy this and we will paste it here and go next. It will ask for a password. So okay, so we will put the password here, and as it is the first time login, it will ask for the current password, and then it will ask you to change the password. So you put the current password, new password, you confirm. It will take you to the sign in page. Now it tells you here, let us keep your account secure. We will help you set up another way to verify you. Follow the prompts to download and set up Microsoft Authenticator app. Now we go next. And the first thing that it tells you is installing the Microsoft Authenticator app application. Now, on your on my mobile phone, I was not able to record this screen because it is a secure app, and when you are setting up the Authenticator app, any screen recording will not work here. So that is another security. So I am using my iPad. I will record this. So, all right, on my iPad, I'll go to Microsoft Authenticator, and you can see this icon is there. We'll download it. It is downloading right now. So on the left hand side, it is my computer screen. On the right hand side, it is my screencasting iPad. So we'll open it now and we'll accept, continue. And here at the bottom, you see scan a QR code. So on this screen, we'll go next. Next. Now we have the application installed, and we will go and click on scan a QR code and click on allow. And this is the screen we will record. Sorry, scan the QR code. and this account is added now. So you can see on this account is added, and you click next. After you click next, it is getting a notification. So number is 70, and you click on yes, and it is approved. So you can see on the notification is approved. You click on next, and here it will ask for the phone number. I'll not add a phone number, rather I'll add an email address. So I will add an email address, click next, and I received the code in my email. Let us see. Right, 10 hours ago, no, next, done. Okay, so my application is all set, and it says recent activity. Okay, my sign in, I went to the security info. So that is how you set up the multi-factor authentication, right? And if you go to the MFA demo account and you refresh it, it will show you that the authenticator is configured, and yeah, the email address and on which device it is configured, right? And it is enabled through phone application notification. So this is what a security default is provided by Microsoft. So with the tenant, you get uh, a secret default, sorry, security default, and that is the basic multi-factor authentication. If you want to go into advanced multi-factor authentication configuration and run kind of a campaign for everyone to set up multi-factor authentication, then we need to uh, do more into conditional access policies, and for that P2 premium license, Microsoft Entra ID premium license is required. And as this video is getting long, so we'll cover the complete conditional access and how to create a campaign for multi-factor authentication, how to set it up, how to exclude users from multi-factor authentication. All these things we will cover in my next video.